My Lord, this matter comes up today morning for further cross-examination of PW12, fairness of parties, because yesterday our assessors are also in court today, and all the five accused persons are also present. The A1 appearing.
This is my Lord. For the record, Edison Caravan. Continuing the cross-examination. Yesterday, we had looked at the OSAC study, right? The OSAC standards.
I introduced it.
Yes. And we had read clause 4.1.
I read it.
We had read it. You can read it again.
So that is 4.1, significance and use. Residue, data examination is generally conducted to terminate an individual has discharged firearm was in close proximity to discharged firearm or came into contact with an object having gunshot residues on its surface. Traditional GSR analysis has relied upon detection of inorganic GSR primarily originating from ammunition primer, that is the PGSR. However, PGSR provides information that complements PGSR analysis. And that practice of using forensic laboratory desiring supplements PGSR analysis with PGSR analysis to identify surfaces exposed to gunshot.
So, you can confirm that what they call PGSR is primer gunshot residue.
Yes, that is primer PGSR.
That's the same as inorganic GSR.
Yes, that's true.
GSR is gunshot residue. And that is a test for lead barrier and antibody.
That's true.
Test for lead barrier and antibody, right?
That's true.
And also I can say that an OGSR test only supplements an inorganic controlled nutrition, right?
Also says here that the practice is for use, for example, about the desiring to supplement. Does not say only.
Desiring to supplement.
Yes, it's different from only supplement.
Okay. So any lab which wants to supplement. Yeah. What about however? When it says however, read the sentence however.
Yes, however, OGSR provides information that complements PGSR analysis.
Let me change the question. OGSR complements IGSR according to this, right?
According to this, PGSR and OGSR complement each other.
No, I think it says OGSR provides information that complements PGSR.
The same.
Okay, that's your understanding.
PGSR.
So let's get your answer slowly. It is your understanding that the sentence OGSR provides information that complements PGSR means that they both complement each other.
That is that be done. It should be complementary. That's what.
And in this case, did you use IGSR to complement your OGSR test?
I did it.
GSR provides information that is used to complement
Complement PGSR, where they mean what he has been calling IGSR. The same thing.
that or substandard is saying.
Yes.
And the witness is
No, no, the witness's interpretation is that it's saying that they both complement each other.
And what I'm saying is that PGSR and OGSR complement each other, depending on what is the foundation for your lab. Whatever you do in addition to what you have done is complementary to what you've done previously.
Okay. But traditionally, gunshot residue analysis has relied upon the detection of inorganic gunshot residue, right?
That's a traditional approach.
The answer is yes.
The traditional approach that has
So the
been
answer
used.
is yes.
Yes.
I want us to go to clause 6.2. Under apparatus. And I just want you to focus on
What did I read it before?
read it or read it.
So 6 apparatus, 0.1. That's
No, 6.2.
Liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry, LCMS. Liquid chromatograph LC using a reverse phase column and pump system, providing a gradient of at least 2 solvents, small column diameters, low flow rates, high sensitivity. Coupled the mass spectrometer with electrospionization or atmospheric pressure ionization of the PCI resource, working positive and negative time modes. Mass analyzers with high resolution and mass accuracy. Mass measurements in the fourth decimal place recommended time of flight for control.
Now, you recognize that method, correct?
I recognize the method.
And it's the one you used. Pardon?
No,
Okay. What I want to talk about is coupled to a mass spectrometer with electrospray ionization or atmospheric pressure chemical ionization. So there are two ways you can, at least two ways you can do ionization, right?
to make it clear, both. This is not what I use, but you can proceed.
No, no, according to your evidence. According to your evidence,
according to my evidence,
you used APCI.
I use APCI and I use
Yes.
LC, MS, MS. What we're discussing here is LC.
No, I'm talking about APCI.
And proceed.
According to the evidence, you use APCI.
I use APCI.
And according to this, is only called ESI, right?
I also use ESI.
In this case, what did you use?
We use our machine has a dualist.
So in this case, what did you use?
It has APCI and ESI.
What did you use?
Use APCI.
Now, if you go to your methodology, is it written there?
That?
You use APCI.
Which methodology?
The one in your report.
No.
Now, just to be clear, was your evidence that you received these samples, blind samples, on the 10th, on Friday, the 10th of November, right?
Yes.
And they came from the ballistics lab, right?
Correct.
And on your part, you cannot account for where the ballistics lab got them from.
Come again.
On your part, you cannot tell us where the ballistics lab got them from.
Don't know the origin of the sample.
Don't know the origin. From police to ballistics, you have no idea how they were kept, where they were kept, and who brought them.
I just received them at my lab.
Okay, go to 8.2. Read it.
8. Procedures 8.2. Preservation of HDSR samples.
Read.
8.21.
8.21, yes.
Samples are open brackets, swaps, adhesives, and vacuum filters should be stored in airtight containers. Immediately reduce possible loss with evaporation. Samples should be stored at 0 degrees or less, maximize preservation.
You cannot explain how they were stored before they came to you, right?
That is going to be my report.
And if they were collected on the 2nd of November and given to you on the 10th, you can't account for those 8 days, right?
Just receive them on the 10th.
Thank you. Go to paragraph 9 on page 6.
9 points.
9.
9. I'm at 9, quality control.
Heading is quality control, right?
Yes.
The folder. And it provides that what? Minimum what?
Minimum quality assurance protocol.
Must do what?
That's 9.1. Under 9.1 is 9.11.
Okay.
Read.
Minimum quality assurance protocols.
29.11.
Yes.
Establish protocol to control optimum instrument calibration.
To do what?
Confirm
Confirm.
optimum instrument calibration and parameters on a full basis.
It was your evidence that you did not actually, first of all, did you provide this code to the protocol on a protocol to confirm optimum instrument calibration?
Available in our application.
Did you provide this code to the protocol?
I gave it in the publication.
This is a publication. Your lab is supposed to have quality control. Is it your evidence that the quality control manual of your lab is a publication on organic soil samples in Amuru? You're under oath.
That's not the publication of the budget control manual.
This is talking about quality control protocols of your lab, right?
Quality control protocols refers to steps taken.
Just hold on. Is this talking about the quality control protocols that are documented by your lab?
One talks about minimum quality assurance protocols.
Those are the quality assurance protocols required in your lab.
Quality
So,
assurance protocols.
just to be clear, is it your evidence that the minimum quality assurance protocols required in your lab are contained in a good university study on soil samples in Amuru?
Minimum quality assurance studies are indicated. Steps for quality assurance.
The ones for your lab, which you use in ensuring that these samples.
They are not.
Where, what can you talk about the quality control
Not only
protocols of your lab?
it's listed here, that's what I was reading.
But you ask, but in your lab,
You have.
do you have quality control protocols?
Yes, we do.
And did you provide them the quote?
No, I didn't.
So there is no evidence in this court that you actually have them, right? There's no evidence in this court that you actually have quality control protocols, right? That you actually have quality control protocols.
So that's why I'm here to explain that we have quality control protocols.
But have you provided any document to this
I have
court?
not provided.
You have not provided. I want to wind up with also ask two questions. The first one is I want you to go to 10.1.
10.10.
What is 10 first of all?
10 is data analysis.
Data analysis. Does that mean the analysis of the data from the results of your test?
Means analysis of data.
Okay? That's been the analysis of data. Fair enough. 10.1.1.
10.1 identification.
Mm-hmm.
10.1.1. Right?
Yes.
Following minimum criteria must be used when making chemical compound identification.
So this is the criteria that must be used before you can tell us you have found NNDP, EPA, and all that stuff, right?
What we are setting here.
Yes, my
It's
question.
the minimum.
Yes, this is the minimum. So wait, before you continue. This is the minimum criteria that must be used when making chemical compound identification, right? And chemical compound identification is the identification of the compounds in your analytical notes, right?
Analytical notes.
The compounds in your analytical notes on your report is table.
Yes. So what's the question?
The chemical compound identification means the identification of these compounds.
Yes. What's the question?
The question was the chemical identification. The chemical compound identification means the identification of the compounds listed in table 3 of his report. And his answer was yes.
Table 3?
Page 3, paragraph 3.
First, let's go slowly. 10.1.1, it provides minimum criteria for identification of chemical compounds.
Yes.
And say yes, according.
I didn't add
Then
that.
the next.
Next.
So he said yes, according to this.
Much of
And that was added Osaka, but I've assumed that this means Osaka.
yes, much of that.
The
And
next question.
yes. The next one was for him to tell us what the chemical compounds are. A chemical compound you need to identify. When you do chemical compound identification, we're talking about the compounds that are contained in your report at paragraph 4. Is that correct? Is that yes?
Chemical compounds, yes, you're right.
So chemical compound identification, what you did in paragraph.
No, it refers to the compounds in paragraph 4.
What is meaning is that the compound be identified and listed in paragraph 4.
So chemical compound identification is what you use to produce paragraph.
Chemical compound identification is what is part of analysis, data analysis. Say which compounds have been detected and which haven't been detected.
Chemical compound
identification
in relation to your report is what you do.
The data analysis to show which compounds were detected. The analysis of the data that's generated from the machine, say which compounds were detected in a particular test item.
Chemical compound identification is the data analysis that resulted in your finding.
Yes.
Much obliged, my lord. Thank you. So, read for us the minimum criteria in 10.1.1.
10.1.1, the following minimum criteria must be used when making chemical compound identifications. 10.1.1.1, the analytical scheme must include at least two techniques: gas chromatography, mass spectrometry, molecular chromatography, mass spectrometry.
The analytical scheme must include at least two techniques. Can you confirm that in this case you used only one technique?
We use orthogonal analysis with two techniques.
Can you confirm that
we use two techniques?
Show us in your report here. Go to your report methodology.
Can you give me my report? I don't have it.
Prosecution can give it to you. Yeah, it's your witness. Give me yours. Kindly.
Now you have joined.
That's true. I don't know where no, I can't join you. I am very quiet. I'm very quiet in my road, but I'm just shocked.
Okay, like seriously.
Methodology.
Yes.
Methodology.
So in our methodology, the analysis of gunshot, that is paragraph 2.
Yes.
The analysis of gunshot residues on the liquid chromatography and the mass spectrometry analytical system.
So you use the liquid chromatography?
Liquid chromatography is one technique, and mass spectrometry is another technique.
Yeah, but read the sentence in 10.1.
The sentence in 10.1 says, 10.1.1.1.
Yes.
It says, the analytical scheme.
Sorry, the analytical scheme.
The analytical scheme.
Must include
at
least
two techniques.
Two techniques.
Two techniques.
And it gives two examples,
Two
right?
examples.
One example
One,
is
gas chromatography. One technique. Mass spectrometry, another technique.
No.
That's it.
Gas chromatography, mass spectrometry, or liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry.
Read it. You have in the paper.
Yes.
The analytical scheme.
I'm
reading it to you.
I want to put it to you.
Let me read it to you, Council.
Let me first put it to you.
My lord, I wish to read it, Council.
Let me first put the question.
What I say?
Yes.
It says it must include at least
two techniques.
You read the document.
Yes. One is gas chromatography, mass spectrometry. Those are two techniques.
That's one.
Those are two techniques.
That's chromatography,
mass spectrometry. Those are two techniques.
That's one technique.
Two techniques.
Let him explain.
Yes.
He's saying that those are. You're saying there are two techniques. He's saying that it's one technique. Please explain to us the difference between them.
So, gas chromatography is a technique. Sorry. So, gas chromatography is a technique that separates compounds and you get an output which is retention time. Hyphenating mass spectrometry, gas chromatography, or liquid chromatography is an extra technique. You can use mass spectrometry without liquid chromatography or gas chromatography. That's why mass spectrometry is the highest end of identification. It's called hyphenation. When a mass spectrometer is hyphenated, this or else, those are two techniques. And this actually refers to liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry. Ours is high end, liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry, almost three techniques.
Okay, that's according to you. Now, I want to suggest to you.
Yes.
the clear meaning of the language in this sentence. You must use two techniques, at least two techniques.
Yes.
That's chromatography, mass spectrometry, or liquid chromatography, mass
You
spectrometry.
just read it. That's it.
Okay.
Not
So we shall let that document speak for itself.
It is all
Now I want
and.
you to go to the next one. 10.1.1.2.
10.1.1.2.
Laboratories shall do what?
Laboratories
Mm-hmm.
shall establish acceptance criteria.
Laboratories shall establish acceptance criteria.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
For each technique.
For each technique
Used.
Mm-hmm.
Based upon validation data.
Based upon validation data. Mm-hmm.
And include measurement uncertainty.
And include measurement uncertainty limits.
If quantitative analysis is being performed.
And in this case, you did not perform a quantitative analysis.
I did not perform a quantitative analysis.
You also do not provide any validation data.
Validation data is available in a publication.
You do not provide any validation data as a laboratory.
What do you mean by laboratory?
Validation data with written by your laboratory.
I'm part of the laboratory, that's the whole of the paper.
Not everything you write is a publication of a laboratory, right?
But it was done in our lab.
Not everything you write about chemistry is owned by your laboratory, right?
No, but you have an MOU, you do research in our lab, have an MOU. What's your question?
My question was, you have not provided from your laboratory, because the thing is laboratories, not universities, laboratories shall establish acceptance criteria for each technique based upon validation data. My question was, your laboratory has not provided to this court any validation data.
My response was, this data in our application was made in our laboratory, and it passed acceptance criteria in our laboratory.
No. Your laboratory, is your laboratory mentioned in that study?
Yes.
As the author of the report?
An affiliation, I'm listed there for the Director of Forensic Services.
And then I want to end on that one. I know you didn't provide it. I was going to take you to something about data, but we don't have any data. Now I want to take you to the disclaimer.
Where is that?
The disclaimer, you were asking, you are so excited to read it. Listen. Now read the disclaimer.
Disclaimer. This document has been developed by the gunshot residue subcommittee, the Organization of Scientific Area Committee.
So this document has been developed by the gunshot residue subcommittee of the Organization of Scientific Area Communities, OSAC.
For forensic science, through a consensus process.
For forensic science through a consensus process.
And the right metallic proposed for further development.
And proposed for further development.
That means it's not
we are still reading. We shall come to questions.
Yeah, it's not polished.
Let's finish reading.
So, proposed for further development through a standard development organization.
So it's proposed for further development through a standard development organization. Continue.
This document is being made available so that the forensic science community and interested parties can consider the recommendations of the OSAC pertaining the applicable forensic science practices.
This document was developed.
This document was developed with the input from experts in a broad array of forensic science disciplines, as well as scientific research, measurement science, statistics, law, and forensics.
Okay. Now, so this document was developed with input from experts in a broad array of scientific science disciplines, as well as scientific research, measurement science, statistics, law, and policy. The last paragraph, maybe if I can read it for purposes of brevity. This document has not been published by an SDO. Its contents are subject to change during the standard development process. All interested groups or individuals are strongly encouraged to submit comments on this proposal during the open comment period administered by ACTM International. And ACTM is the American Society for Testing and Materials. Now, let's first be clear. According to this disclaimer, this document is prepared by the Gunshot Residue Subcommittee of OSAC, right?
Yes, prepared by the Gunshot Residue Subcommittee of Organization of Scientific Area Commission.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay. This disclaimer does not say that the science contained in this document is unreliable, right?
The disclaimer says that this document is that further development.
Yeah, but does it say that the science contained in this document is unreliable?
Doesn't.
Okay. It says that it has not been adopted by a standards development organization, right?
Yes, that is true.
And because of that, this is not a binding standard, right?
And in who?
It is not, they do not hold this out as an applicable standard, right? I've changed the question. They do not hold this out as an applicable standard, right?
I don't know what you, I don't get your question.
Is this an applicable standard according to this?
They're applying it, you say it's being applied.
I'm asking you, this disclaimer here.
Yes.
It has not been done by a standards development organization, right?
Yes, it has not been done by
So
SDO.
there are organizations that develop standards for forensic science, right?
Or
In forensic science.
SDO for forensic science.
The organization, please learn to listen and answer. The organizations, listen to the question. Listen to the question.
Yes, what's your question?
An SDO, a standard development organization, is a body that develops standards, right? For example, you told us yesterday of standards that have been developed by the American Society for Testing and Materials, right?
I know STM, but SDO.
No. You testified yesterday
I told you
of
STM.
standards.
He asked the question, are there organizations that develop standards for forensic?
Yes.
Are they there?
I don't.
And this document is not that.
That's what it's taking.
According to the disclaimer, this document is not developed by a standard development organization, right?
For me, what is the question?
This document is not developed by a standards development organization, right?
Wait, is it a global body or is it restricted?
On the disclaimer.
Let's put it this way.
According to the disclaimer.
Yes.
How is a witness supposed to answer that except if he was part of the authors?
I'm finding trouble placing that.
My question, my lord.
Yes.
I'm showing him a disclaimer. The disclaimer says this document is not developed by a standards development organization. And he has answered.
Yes or no.
And he has said yes. I have then told him this document. I then told him that there are standard development organizations. After a lot of prevarication, he has accepted. I have then asked him if this is a standard development organization.
If you're not sure, you say I'm not sure.
But when you're not sure, without understanding the question is also what is the question?
The
How long did it
question
take
is,
to start?
I'm
It's a
not
simple
part
question.
of-
My lord, I
you
apologize.
have to answer.
My lord, I apologize. But my lord, I really want to express frustration with prevarication and obfuscation.
For me, the addiction.
My lord, he has a PhD, but I don't know.
I don't know in English.
Okay, I
Now,
apologize.
you ask whether according to that disclaimer,
Yes,
you ask that according to that disclaimer,
yes.
was that document
Is this
fair
by a standards development organization?
If you're not sure, you say,
I'm not sure.
But it actually says it's not developed by a standards development organization, right?
Just give it to me.
Does the document say that this document is not that this document is not developed by a standards development organization?
Yeah.
So the answer is yes.
It's written here, that's yes.
Yeah.
Even you're reading it.
Yeah, so just answer yes when it's clear. So I want to put it to you that no standards development organization has developed standards for the testing of organic gunshot residue.
A peer-reviewed literature in science that
That's-
guides
that's-
on how to test.
That's a different question. Answer the one I've asked you.
What have you asked?
No standard development organization has developed standards for the testing of organic gunshot residue.
I'm not sure. Because I'm not,
Are you aware of any standard?
I am not.
Thank you. Now I want us to end by looking at, maybe you can give us back our, can give Court back. There were 3 studies, I think, yesterday. Did you take any?
Where are the papers?
There was Interpol, Manganelli, and OSAC, right? My Lord, I want us just to go back to your report now. I want you to look at, on page 1 of your report. We have a copy. Everybody, you can be having a translation.
Tandikirege natusomera kawairo kakana .1 akayambawo bwoba nogenda kunaka kwereza obujulizi kano kabalizege amugaso nokozesa then yatugamba akakozesa tayeserege OGSR nikyo organic gunshot residue na EGSR primer gunshot residue. Then yatugamba ebyo bibiri bikolera hamwe. Yakyora yatutwala akawairo 6 doti 2 kabalizege apparatus. Yatugamba ebyo yakozero akabifuna mu laboratory yayi. Then yakyora yatutwala akawairo 8.21 kabenye kabazali samples. Yatugamba samples bali supposed ozaawula a temperature ya 0. Then yatutwala alukara lw'omwenda apeji 6. Egyo ebegene bazawo quality control protocols. Then yatugamba ebyatabyerezeyo mu kooti. Then yatutwala a paragraph 10.11 egyo bazawo chemical compound identification. Then yatugamba egyo yatugamba eherezayo emiringo gy'okusobola akozesa chemicals. Yatugamba akakolesa ebyo okwijjawo na analysis ebyazoire mu byabe naatooza. Then yatugamba ali ebyoyina kuwondera okuba n'otolereza chemicals abalizego. Then yatugamba akakolesa miringo ebiri surrogate techniques. Yatugamba akakolesa liquid chromatography. Then yatugamba egyo ekaba eina bintu bibiri. Yagamba gas chromatography na mass chromatography. Then yatwala kyayisirege disclaimer. Then yatugamba we tali sure nti ekipapuro ekyo kyebahandikire baraba bwekira kyalugire mu ekitongole ekiri hamutindo. That's where we are.
Very much obliged. Thank you. Now, I want us to return to your report. Maybe before we go there, you have your report?
Okay. That is page 45.
We were just thinking it may be good to follow it with the report, the quote as well. Before we go there, it was your evidence that your method could not read nitrocellulose, right?
Our method does not analyze nitrocellulose.
And it was your evidence and you are shown literature from OSAC showed that nitrocellulose is the primary compound in the propellant, right?
Okay.
You were shown literature from OSAC that showed that nitrocellulose is the primary compound in the propellant.
Which propellant?
You can say I don't know whatever. I've asked you a question.
What I remember is that nitrocellulose must be made
The major component.
material.
Yes.
That's yes.
Yes.
What I say.
Okay, nitrocellulose was the major energetic material. And in the literature you were shown, nitroglycerin was a major energetic material in a double base powder.
How did we have that literature up?
OSAC. OSAC. But that's the question. So the question is nitroglycerin now. What about nitroglycerin?
So can we have the OSAC material back?
There were 4 terms, yeah? Smokeless powder, double base smokeless powder, single base smokeless powder, and triple base smokeless powder. Right?
Right.
And in all those 4 terms, the only compound which appeared in that document in all the 4 terms is nitrocellulose, right? as the major energetic material?
So in the double base, nitrocellulose and nitroglycerin and
No, no, I'm saying all the four terms. My question is, in all the four terms, the only major energetic material that appeared was nitrocellulose, right?
That's not true.
So the four terms what?
The four terms are smokeless powder, double base, single base, and triple base. And I'm saying that in all four, you find nitrocellulose as a major energetic power. What do you call it? Energetic material? Nitrocellulose. My lord, I'm saying you find nitrocellulose, and he's saying it's not true.
You see, you're confusing the question.
No, no, I asked, my question is a simple question.
Can you ask another question? Yeah.
You are shown four terms.
One,
Single base,
yes,
double base,
yes,
smokeless powder, and triple base.
yes,
Correct?
true.
And in all those four terms, nitrocellulose appears in the definition of those terms as a major energetic material.
That's not what's written here.
What is written there?
I can
So
read
first of all, is that false? Let's first get the answer.
That's not what's written here.
No, no, is it false?
False, not written here.
Okay, so it is not true that in the four terms you were shown, nitrocellulose appears.
No, my
My
lord.
lord, that's a different question.
Okay, that's the question.
My lord, let me read for you what is here.
No, 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 no.
Let me
First
read
give the
quotes. Let me
answer.
read to quote
We
what
shall
is
come to reading.
But the answer is based on
here. You know what I'm reading here.
No, no, no.
It's based on what I'm reading here.
You told him you are
Yes.
shown
Oh,
in the other document.
yes.
Four terms.
Yes.
Let him refresh his mind. All the documents. One is not the publisher. So he was asked question. On that document. Let
Yes.
him use what is in that document. Answer his question.
Okay.
I'm going to read for you smokeless powder.
Yes.
That is 3.1.
Yes.
3.15.
Yes. Read it.
Smokeless powder,
Mhm.
a propellant, and low explosive composed of nitrocellulose and other organic and inorganic compounds.
So nitrocellulose is there.
This is there.
Is nitroglycerin there?
No.
Thank you.
His question
Let's
was,
first, we shall come to the.
Hold on. The next one.
Nitrocellulose is there. Nitroglycerin is not there, right?
yes,
Single base.
single base smokeless powder containing nitrocellulose as the major energetic factor.
Nitrocellulose is there, right?
Yes,
Nitroglycerin is not there, right?
yes.
Okay. Third one.
I'll read the double base.
Yes.
That is 3.1.5. Double base and smokeless powder containing nitrocellulose and nitroglycerin as the major energetic factor.
So nitroglycerin is introduced in those definitions on the term double base, right?
It's introduced, yes.
Then triple base.
Triple base smokeless powder containing nitrocellulose, nitroglycerin, and nitroguanidine.
Okay. So nitrocellulose, my question again, is regarded as a major energy component of all the types of propellant, right?
That is one of the major energetic factors.
In fact, it is a minimum criteria for identification, correct?
Based on what?
That's what you read.
Yeah.
Is there a definition of smokeless powder
Yes.
without nitrocellulose?
There is no one. That was going to contain nitrocellulose.
Thank you. But there is a definition of smokeless powder without nitroglycerin.
In this document,
Yes.
can you guide me where it is?
I'm saying you've read for us four definitions.
Yes.
All of them having the word nitrocellulose. Do all of them having the word nitroglycerin?
No.
Now, you claimed that you were able to see nitrocellulose through one of its, what did you use? byproduct. I don't remember the word you used. Derivatives. What did you use?
Breakdown product.
One of its breakdown products. Can you show it to us?
So if you go to paragraph 3, this items and findings, and you navigate to
That's here.
serial number 3, then under detected substances, you find nitrophenolamine.
So that is test item number 3, and it's the first nitrophenylamine.
Yes.
You are saying is a breakdown product of nitrocellulose.
Yes.
Is it from the family of the cellulose?
Sorry?
They are chemical families, right? Means yes.
Yes.
Please, you're putting your.
So the item 3,
Mm.
nitrophenolamine
Phenolamine.
was identified as a
Breakdown
breakdown
product.
product.
Nitrocellulose.
Yes. So that nitrophenylamine,
Yes.
is it part of the chemical family, the same chemical family as nitrocellulose?
No.
It's not. So nitrocellulose had to break down with what?
About photocatalysis.
Yeah, tell us.
My
Don't
lords.
tell us.
My lords. Nitrocellulose is a very complex biological molecule that even our bodies cannot digest the enzymes in our bodies in our stomachs. It's very complex. That's why it cannot be seen by gas chromatography, cannot be vaporized by gas chromatography, cannot be vaporized by LCMS.
Okay, but the question you're answering is how it's
Very
connected.
complex biological material.
Yeah. Yeah, but the question you're answering is how it's connected to nitrophenylamine.
Yes.
So please go there quickly.
I'm going there.
Please go there.
We are going there.
Go there.
The complex biomolecule. Actually, the sugar molecule, complex biomolecule called in the sugar family, the carbohydrate family.
I'll be right to say it's one of the compounds we find in cotton.
Not tested cotton for sure.
Okay.
But let me continue with my answer here.
Mm-hmm.
The complex biological molecule in the carbohydrate family of compounds. And once broken down,
So.
let me finish here.
Yeah. We also want to record you. So speak into the microphone.
Oh, okay. Once broken down, can give rise to different compounds, can fall in different classes.
How is it connected to nitrophenylamine?
The breakdown product.
Yes, I was telling you. My question was: is nitrophenylamine from the same chemical family as nitrocellulose?
Yes.
And you said no.
Oh, yes.
I then said, how does it come to it? And then you said it's photocatalysis.
And
then you ended up telling us about enzymes in the body. That's why I'm saying let's answer the questions I'm asking you. How is it connected to nitrophenylamine?
So there have been studies that have shown that once you break down nitrocellulose, nitrophenylamine will break down product.
Okay, but they're from a different chemical family. There are studies.
Nitrocellulose. One of the breakdown products is nitrophenylamine.
And you've not provided us with this. Yes, one of the breakdown products, according to some studies, which are not provided.
Yes, to be one of the breakdown products, nitrophenylamine.
Okay, now, so this is based on a study that you've not disclosed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's in D5?
D5, that is serial number 3. This way, 407Y 23 S
Okay. Which, according to you, is a breakdown of
nitrocellulose.
nitrocellulose.
And then that is N-nitrosodiphenylamine, NDPA.
Which is a derivative of DPA.
Yes. And then 4-nitrosodiphenylamine.
Which is another derivative of DPA. Would you say that these are derivatives after DPA has mixed with nitrophenylamine?
Which one?
These other two.
Come again?
Are these other two, NNDPA and 4-nitrosodipA, the result of the mixture of NPA and DPA?
No.
They're the result of the mixture of DPA and nitrocellulose.
The result, which one?
These are the two breakdown products. The derivatives.
Let's get their number. I can want to let me where there. Because there are three here. Which other two? Which two do you mean?
We're not talking about NPA, so the other two.
The other two. Are the result of?
How are they formed?
These other two are formed during autocatalysis, breakdown of the propellants, generate nitric acids, react with DPA, give these products.
Let's take that down slowly. These two are formed during autocatalysis.
Yes.
Breakdown of the DPA.
No, DPA does not break down.
Is formed during autocatalysis,
of the propellant, nitroglycerin, nitrocellulose.
Of the propellant, either whether it's nitrocellulose or nitroglycerin. And in this compound, the closest you found was nitrocellulose. In D5.
What is your question?
In D5,
yes,
you have nitrophenylamine,
yes,
which is a breakdown of nitrocellulose.
Yes.
So the closest you have to nitrocellulose and nitroglycerin is this NPA.
Closest I have?
Yes, in these three substances. You have three substances here.
Explain the NDPA and 4-nitrosol.
Maybe that is fair.
Explain that.
So the
These are
NDPA,
found when what breaks down.
when the propellant, nitroglycerin, or nitrocellulose during autocatalysis.
These are found when, these are formed when.
My lord, he said they are formed when there is autocatalysis, which is the breakdown of the propellant, which is either nitroglycerin or nitrocellulose. That's what he said. I'm recording. I'm repeating.
We prefer the witness to speak.
There's also breakdown of.
So during the breakdown, the autocatalysis of the propellant, it is nitroglycerin or nitrocellulose. There is release of nitrous acids and oxides. Which react to stabilize the DPA. Give several derivatives, including react nitrous acids, which react to stabilize the DPA. To give several derivatives, including N-nitrosophenamine, NDPA, N-nitrosophenamine,
NNDP, the one contained on D5, line 2.
and nitroso DPA, or nitroso DPA.
Which is contained on D5, line 3. Right?
So it gives NDPA and.
Including many derivatives, including the N-nitroso, NNDPA, and then 4-nitroso DPA.
So what my question to you is, this NPA, yeah, when I turn to your table on page 2, it's not there.
Correct?
What is it?
The breakdown product of nitrocellulose.
So it's there as like as a propellant.
The breakdown product of nitrocellulose. Indicative that in the reaction that happens,
There was
there
nitrocellulose.
So you explain on page 2, this nitro
Nitrophenylamine is not there.
in the
Among the organic, in page 2, on the table, organic components of gunshot residue.
on page
Correct?
2.
It's on table 4 under analytical notes.
under the heading organic components of gunshot residue, correct? My lord, can I be in charge of the witness as the cross-examiner, not the prosecution? I think this is heckling. Yes. Under the heading organic, yes, organic components of gunshot residue. Can you confirm that nitrophenylamine is not listed there?
It's not here.
Is it fair to say that nitrophenylamine is not an organic compound of gunshot residue?
Not fair.
It is not. Okay?
It's not fair to say what?
It is fair to say that it is not
It's not fair. What was your question, counsel?
Is it fair to say that nitrophenylamine is not an organic component of gunshot residue?
Nitrophenylamine is a component of gunshot residue.
You've changed your answer?
No, but your question, you're listing questions. That's why I have to listen to you and arrive a good answer for you.
So you said it's not fair to say that
NPA, my lord, let's call it NPA.
But NPA
Yes.
is not
National Planning
compound.
No, that is what this question, that's how we list it. So me, I want a clear question. What are my answer, my response is nitrophenylamine is a component of breakdown of nitrocellulose. And
My question.
What was your question?
My question is nitrophenylamine an organic component of gunshot residue? It
Yes.
can't be simpler than that.
Yes, it is.
NPA is an organic.
But it's not listed in your table.
Where are we at?
Please listen to me, Mr. Witness.
Okay.
I am the one cross-examining you.
It's asking whether NPA is an organic compound.
Yes, it is an organic compound.
Yes.
Yes.
So the answer is NPA is an organic component.
Yes.
Of gunshot. That's what you say.
Yes. And it is not contained in your table.
Yes, it is not.
And it was left out deliberately.
Yes, I left it out.
Deliberately.
Left it out.
Deliberately. Answer my question.
I left it out.
Please answer my question. Did you leave it out deliberately?
I left out the cellulose deliberately.
Not nitrocellulose. Nitrophenylamine. The question you've just answered. My lord.
NPA is not contained.
It's not contained in our table, my lord.
Yes.
So you left it out deliberately or not?
It was not deliberate, my lord.
It was accidental.
It was not deliberate.
Or was it accidental?
It was not accidental.
So why did you?
We left it out because we did not consider it at the time to be.
Because you did consider it?
The time to be compound of interest. Because our machine does not analyze nitrocellulose.
No. Let's first record that.
I left out NPA in the table because at that time we did not
Consider it to
Our
be
machine analyzes nitrocellulose.
consider it
a compound of interest.
to
That's what he said, my lord.
But we don't consider it to be empty because we do not detect nitrocellulose on our machine.
We did not consider it to be a substance of interest. Of interest, I think that's what he said.
You can do what he's saying now, my lord.
I left out
Always
NPA
changing.
in the table because at that time we did consider it.
We did not consider detecting nitrocellulose on the technique used.
We did not consider detecting.
Nitrocellulose.
But is this nitrocellulose?
No, NPA.
Yes.
So
So
you
we're
left
talking about
out
NPA.
because we
Okay.
did not consider it.
Detecting it.
Detecting,
So we left out NPA
yes.
because we did not consider detecting nitrocellulose on our LCMS machine.
No, but let's be clear.
Yes.
Did you detect NPA?
Yes, we detected NPA.
What have you just told us?
I know it.
He said he left it out in the table. That doesn't mean that
No, he left it out because he did not consider,
detecting
Detecting it.
nitrocellulose.
but he detected NPA. We're not asking him about nitrocellulose.
But let him explain the difference between NPA and
He said that might not be already explained. He said there is some literature which connects them.
Already explained that. That NPA is the breakdown product of nitrocellulose. We have a method that analyzes 17 compounds, including NPA, including mineral substances. What we do for gunshot residues, reduce the 17 compounds to what we include the table here. That's how NPA was not included here.
So you left out NPA. That's what I'm
Yes, you left out NPA.
because at that time we did not consider detecting
My Lord, I want
That
to
is
pray.
his response.
I want to pray humbly. I'm guided by my senior colleague, Mr. Katanga. We should take charge of the cross-examination, my Lord. I think the concern is that the witness is now being allowed to meander. Our questions are direct, and the witness's strategy seems to be a strategy of meandering. And that's why we're asking leading questions.
He's not understanding what to write.
Yes.
Can ask him to clarify.
Yes, but yes, that's fine. But I'm praying, my Lord, that we take charge.
We also have a humble request to our colleague.
I'm sure you
That
do.
once a question is asked and the witness is in the process of answering, let the witness be given opportunity to complete the answer without interruption. Then another question can follow. But it is the way it is happening, my Lord, is as if there is an answer expected, and when the witness is attempting, it's disrupted.
No.
And even in our notes, we are not after completing the story.
My Lord, I want to thank my colleague for that interjection. And I think those interjections from a sitting position really not acceptable. And my Lord, I want to thank my colleague for that interjection. In fact, what my colleague is saying is what I'm saying. I'm saying, my Lord, that the witness should answer my questions, not dodge them, not prevaricate, not play games.
And if the answer is not,
because, my Lord, I can't ask him about nitrophenol. And then he starts saying we did not look for nitrocellulose.
but that is his answer.
No, but so I want, because my question is nitrophenol.
If we keep forcing him to answer what is not there.
But if he can't
let him answer. If that is his answer, we report that we asked him this, but he answered that. An inference can be drawn from
yes,
that.
but my Lord, I'm also praying that the witness be guided to be forthright in his evidence and to answer what he's asked. It's not a debate. I'm just asking you questions, give us answers.
And questions cannot be answered by yes or no.
Yes.
Especially scientific.
I'm not asking him yes or no. I'm not even asking him yes or no, but I'm asking direct questions and the strategy of dodging. My Lord, there's clear dodging.
Okay. Now let us all accept that. Now
That question.
Answer
the question put to him.
My Lord, I also request that the question be clear.
No, you
ask for clarity. Before you answer, you can ask what exactly do you mean, and then counsel will tell you what exactly wants, and counsel shall allow you after that clarification to answer. That you can write.
If you haven't understood, you don't answer. You answer what you've understood.
Like a quiet remain.
My question. That's an attitude you don't. Now, my question is simple.
Don't wag your finger.
I'm sorry. Well, I promise to behave. I promise to behave. My question is very simple. Nitrophenol-amine. Let's go back there. Did you place nitrophenol-amine in your table?
I did.
And you had detected it?
Yes.
And you did not think it was important after detecting it to add it as an organic component of gunshot residue?
I'm clear.
You did not think it was important after detecting it to add it as one of the organic components of gunshot residue?
I know you missed adding it to the table.
So the answer is you missed adding it to the table. So it was accidental. You did not add it to the table as a result of carelessness.
As a result of carelessness.
So what did you miss adding?
I think we have this report template that we did not update.
Thank you. So it is a template. So what is before this court is a template that is not updated, right?
Template that's not updated.
That's what you just said.
I said
this is a report template.
The report template.
Okay, can we record that? Just slow down. Let's record that. Let's record that. You have a record template.
So you said missing adding it was not a result of carelessness.
It's not a result of carelessness.
Then you
I know it.
He has a template.
Yes. And any other report that appeared in this court is a report template.
So the lab has a report template.
Yes. That's where we start the report template and then populate it. What our findings are.
Populate.
Yes, ma'am.
No findings.
Yes,
Okay, so my question, do you recall when I asked you if this report was a cut and paste job?
Don't recall.
At the beginning of this cross-examination, I asked you,
Don't
when we're
recall.
talking about the date, I told you that the reason why your dates are wrong is because this is a template.
No, a
Right?
A template.
No, do you recall? That's the question. Answer the question that is put to you.
I recall that question was asked, and
Yes.
he said it's not. But he's saying
It's a template.
the template has a meaning.
Yes, the template has a meaning now.
Let him explain what it is.
Okay.
He says the report, the lab has a template, and you populate the template with your research findings.
With our findings.
With our findings, our research findings. So let him explain in the meaning of within the context of their what is it? Maybe the template law in their side. Let him shed light.
My lord,
what a template.
my lord, can I before he does that, can I ask one question in light with that?
No, my lord,
No,
my
let
lord,
him
that is
no,
where.
no, let him first tell what
My
a
lord,
template.
my lord, it's just
Let him tell what a template.
My lord,
It's important.
all
In
documents,
your-
yes, all
in your
documents here, starting with what you have labeled PE 33, the template. It is filled. Actually, that's why it's handwritten. There can be modified when the more samples are needed. The template that's there. You populate it with what the activity you're doing.
okay.
It's
So
the template.
so
Internal memos are also templates. There's a template for a report. So that's what a template is. It's the starting material for drafting a right document.
now it is simple. In your template,
Template is a starting material for drafting.
yes. So your template is is our normal English understanding of template.
That is my lord. No, that's not.
Is it a chemistry understanding
I
of
have
template?
defined a template, my lord.
No, answer my question. And that's what I'm saying. Answer my question. Is your understanding of template our normal English understanding of the term template? Or is there a chemistry definition?
Our understanding of templates is defined in quality assurance as I defined it.
Oh, so the answer now to my question. Is it normal English understanding of the word template, or is there a chemistry definition of the word template?
My lord.
Answer
All
that
these
question.
documents you have seen have definitions. That's why when it was
He has said,
referenced,
I think he has answered. He said that they have a template, which is the starting material for drafting.
Okay, my next question. Let me move on. And in that template that you have, that what appears on page 2, a table, organic components of gunshot residue, is a standard table in all organic gunshot residue reports. It is already there in the template, right?
yes,
And by mistake, it does not include NPA.
it does not include NPN.
So this part of the table, in fact, is not your findings, it is your template.
Part of the table is the necessary for interpretation of the findings.
The part of your table, the part of your table that is a standard that comes from the template, the part of your report that comes from the template, that's there before you start writing, includes analytical notes. It also includes the declaration.
That's true.
It also has that box for analysis summary.
True.
The only thing you added there are your signatures.
Added.
Yes.
Those past signatures are included. Did we add? Sign on the document.
So we can take a translation.
atutwaire peegi yokubanza ya ripooti yayi. Then yatugamba nitrocellulose niyo nicyo kintu kyamaanyi kyeyazwire kyeyasangire mu bye yabeire naatolereza. Then yatugamba Akatoola yasangamu ebintu bina kandi ebintu byona bikaba ebikontaininga nitrocellulose. Yokubanza abalizeko small trace powder, then double base, single base na triple base. Then yamalira n'agamba nitrocellulose niyo ekusingayo amaanyi. Then yatwala paragraph ya kasatu ekaba ebege nebazawo test items and findings. Then yatugamba test item ya kasatu ejo niya eserege nitrofenilamine. Yatugamba egyo ejjawo hanyuma y'okutwa nitrocellulose. Then yatugamba egyo niyo analytical notes of gun residue. Then yatugamba NPA etabe mutebe egyo habwokuba etabe mutebe egyo kandi bakagizuula. Then yatugamba NPA eri organic compound ya gunshot residue kyonka teri mutebo egyebateyawo. Then yatugamba bakagireka habwokuba akaire ako emasini zaabo zikaba zitakusobola zora nitrocellulose. Then yatugamba bakamisinga addinga NPA atebo yaabo kyonka kyabe accidental. Then yatugamba template nikyo kintu ekyokutandikirawo bakuba nibateekawo document. That's where we are moving.
Thank you for that very clear translation. So, just to wind up on that, I'll ask this question for the last time, and I'll assume you're going to answer it. So you left out nitrophenylamine because you did not populate your table correctly.
We left out nitrophenylamine from our table.
Because you did not populate your table correctly. Answer the whole question.
Yes, we did not add nitrophenylamine to our table.
Because you did not populate the table correctly. Yes or no?
Put nitrophenylamine in our table.
That we know. So the reason is because you did not populate the table
We left
correctly.
it out, don't include it in our table.
Why?
Another strategy is not to answer my questions.
And the reason why, as like I explained to you before, we have a method of 17 compounds. So initially I thought gunshot residues was the 10 compound listed in this table. That's why the original template just like the definition has 10 compounds. But when we did the analysis and read the literature, we found out that nitrophenylamine is actually a component of gunshot residue. So we populated it in our findings, but we did not include it in our.
You left out NPA from your table because you found out that the compound.
You found out after writing your report.
No, not after.
You found out that.
We found out that the component of gunshot residues and we included it in our findings, but we did not include it in our case notes.
By mistake.
Not included.
That's my question is it by mistake? You see, it is here, but it's not here. So,
we left it out by mistake.
thank you. Now,
You left it out from the table, but
by
you
mistake.
talked about it in
The findings.
So now let's do the table. My lord, it is a D5, number 3.
left it out of the table by mistake, but you had included it.
The findings.
In the findings of paragraph 3. And it's only on one item.
Is that true?
Which is D5.
That's true.
Now, if you go to your table,
Which table?
analytical notes, if you were to add it, in which of these 4 uses would you put it?
The breakdown product.
So where do you put it? Is it a flash inhibitor?
In this table, represents compound in situ before gunshot residue. These compounds are present in unreacted powder. The other one is formed after breakdown.
So we ask if you were to put it in this table.
Yes, my lord.
Where would you put it?
Where would it be?
My lord.
In this.
And my explanation is
No, the answer first.
Where?
would not fit anywhere in this table.
Because it's not an organic component of gunshot residue.
What is included here are the primary compounds in unreacted
Because it is not a primary.
compound you will find in stable gunpowder.
For example,
Yes, a moment. Because it is not a.
The primary compound you would find in a stable gunpowder.
okay. So for example,
Yes.
if you look at DPA, you miss a Morgana, please.
My lord, I need to take that answer. I'm part of this.
But my lord, that strategy of
No,
stopping
my
my
lord, I
questions.
have not written.
My lord, it's a tactical move. He
No,
keeps
my
saying,
lord,
he keeps saying,
Finished answering cancel. Because
Yes.
I was also writing.
And my lord, the difference here is that
Finished
our colleague is not writing, so he doesn't know us who are taking notes what we are going through.
It's quite.
He's not writing.
Which of life? Answer.
And
You are answering. You keep
Because
answering your
it is
fingers.
not a primary compound you will find
in stable gunpowder, my lord.
So,
Just allow the give some time.
so I want him to go, my lord, to number 8. Yeah? For example, you have diphenylamine
Yes.
as a stabilizer,
Yes.
and you include a footnote. And in your footnote, you have breakdown products of diphenylamine. If you add a footnote for NPA, because in fact, 2N-DPA, 4N-DPA, NN-DPA, and 4-nitroso-DPA actually appear in your table as a footnote.
They do not
Right?
appear in our table.
As a footnote,
They are indicated
as a footnote to the table.
Yes.
So if you have a footnote for NPA, where will you put it?
If we had a footnote for NPA, we would include as this is a breakdown product from nitrocellulose.
So what would happen is at number 1,
Number 1.
you would have nitroglycerin, comma, nitrocellulose. Then you would have footnote 1,
Yes.
and you would put down there nitrophenylamine
Yes.
is a breakdown product.
Of nitrocellulose.
So when I see 2-NDPA, 4-NDPA, maybe let me first note up. Maybe we can take a translation. It's a fantastic.
This one is very well. Very, very well.
Atugambire
Done well.
nti bakaleka NPA habwokuba bakakisanga nti eri compound ya gunshot residue. Then yatugamba nti bakagireka ikaba nsobi ekyo bagirekere. Then yatugamba kabwaki batandikire mu mutego habwokuba bakasanga nti ebi primary compound ya gunshot powder. That's real.
Would I be correct to say? No, let me first finish that point. When I find 2 NDPA, 4 NDPA, N NDPA, and 4 nitrosodPA, I know those are contained in the footnote. The following just there. They are stabilizer.
The stabilizer here is NDPA, DPA, MC, and EC.
No. When I find, because you have DPA, you have a footnote. And your footnote said DPA also has these things. So when I find these things, I know stabilizer.
When you find the vector products, you mean?
Yes.
The result, the vector products, they are formed from DPA and the propellant.
When I find them, I know stabilizer was here.
Means there was stabilizer.
When I find nitrophenylamine, that will mean I found a propellant.
Would mean there was a propellant before, which is like what was like a cellulose.
Am I right to say that when the propellants break down, what is formed are nitrates and nitrates?
When you come again?
When nitroglycerin and nitrocellulose breaks down, what is formed are nitrates and nitrates, right?
Nitrates and nitrates. What about the carbon in nitrocellulose?
Plus carbon,
Plus
water.
Organic compounds.
When the propellant
breaks down. What is formed are nitrates, nitrates.
When the propellant
And he has
breaks
added
down,
carbon.
there are several products formed, including nitrates, nitric oxides, nitrates.
And carbon, you said.
That's organic compounds formed from nitrogen breakdown. When propellants break down, there are several products formed, including nitrates, nitrites,
So
nitrous oxides, and others.
okay, so I want us then to go I want us to go back to your table on page 2. Yeah? As a final question on this table, the table you presented to court is therefore inaccurate.
If I present the quote is accurate.
Table 2.
Yes. The analytical notes. I meant page 2. That's an incomplete table. Right?
People lack some substances to be added.
It's incomplete.
Therefore, it
Lacks some substances to be added.
That's up to date. You're so zealous. Allow me. That table lacks some substances
That have to be included.
Okay, now also some of the test items and findings, yeah, listed at page 3, listed at page 1. Test items and findings. We agree that some of them do not appear in the table.
Nitrophenylamine does not appear in our table.
So you would agree, however, that the presence of nitrophenylamine, you would have indicated it as a breakdown product of the propellant nitrocellulose.
Yes, I do.
And you will agree that that product can be found in test item number 3.
That substance is present in this item number 3, which is D5.
There are 3 items on D5.
In substances,
Okay, the 3 detected substances on D5. Yeah? All together represent the chemical signature of D5.
sorry,
The 3 substances in D5, detected in D5, all together represent the chemical fingerprint
they
of D5.
represent the chemicals we detected in D5.
Okay? So if you find these 3 substances somewhere else, it means that you have found the same thing in D5 that you found somewhere else.
Come again.
If you find these 3 things in D5, and then you find these 3 things somewhere else, in another, let's say on a CS1, just as an example. Yeah? I'm using it as an example. Please listen to the question and answer it. What you find on D5, if you find the exact same 3 substances anywhere else, then D5 and that item match. They have the same thing.
They will contain the same substance.
Okay. So does D3 have all the 3 items that are in D5?
So D3 has OND.
So you answer it as yes or no. Eh? You can look at it and then answer it as yes or no. D3 has contains all the same substances that are in D5.
So D3 overlaps with D5 to one compound.
Only one.
Yes.
But the other 2 are not there.
Yes.
So D5 contains
D3
only one compound. That is D5 contains only one compound that's in D3, correct? That's my question, my lord. My question is, does D5 contain only one compound that is in D3? And the answer is yes.
She has altered D3 and
Can I ask my question again, my lord?
Yes.
Does D5, is it correct to say that D5 has only one substance that is in D3?
Yes, that's true.
What substance is it?
That is 4-nitroso-DPA.
That is 4N-DPA.
4-nitroso.
Or 4-nitroso. Sorry, 4-nitroso-DPA. Yeah? So there's one match. What else is in D3?
That is 4-NDPA.
So D3 has 4-NDPA. Does D5 have 4-NDPA?
Doesn't.
So now we're looking at detected substances on D3 and D5. How about D4?
D4 has for NDPA.
Is it in D5?
It's not in D5.
How about KP? Just test item number 6. I've jumped OC1 and OC2 because there's nothing in there. And maybe we can do them as well. OC1 and OC2 have nothing.
Target substances were not detected.
That means there was nothing found in them.
They were not detected.
Was something found in them?
They were not detected.
Can you answer my question?
My lord, the term non detected means if you went to another lab, if you used something else, you could find something. But non detected based on the capabilities of our analytical methods. That's non detected. So then you need not there. That's non detected. Yes, period.
So you found nothing. You
non detected. Yes.
And he has explained that not detected means that their lab
It's
not
non
see it,
detected.
but if it was sent to another lab,
Okay. So you're not sure of your lab?
It's non detected cancer.
Are you sure of your lab?
I'm very sure. But it's standard
Okay.
protocol in science.
No, actually, it isn't.
It isn't. Sorry?
It isn't. We have documents here.
Is there?
We have how you should report. But let's not debate. Let's continue. Let's make progress. Where did I brain here? Okay, so OC1 and OC2, nothing. KP.
KP has a nitrosamine,
Which is in D5.
yes.
So out of the 3 substances in D5, KP only has 1.
Yes.
M1. M1.
M1 has a nitrosamine.
That is N-NDPA. Out of the 3 substances, there's only 1.
One detected here.
M2 has nothing.
Detected.
M3 has 2 substances.
Correct.
None of them are in D5.
M3.
Yeah? None of them are in D5.
Correct.
And nothing in D5 is on M3.
Come again?
Nothing on D5 is in M3.
That's correct.
And you testified that what is on M1 was a result of what is on M3. New evidence in chief.
What is in?
New evidence in chief told this court under oath that what is on M1 is a result of what was on M3.
Yes, that's correct.
And what is on M3 and what is on D5 are different.
Yes.
10-1.
10-1 has a nitrosamine.
So it has 1.
Yes.
And that 1, 10-1, just item number 10. N-NNDPA. And that 1 item is there in D5.
Yes, it's there in D5.
And the 2 items in D5 are not in 10-1.
Yes.
And my lord, I want to give the witness the DNA report.
Atugambirege nti propellants bwezitwekamu kuna nitrates na nitro oxide nebindi. Then yatwara page ya kabiri egyo niyo ekubazawo analytical notes na transcript. Then yatugamba entebe egyo eyina ebintu bimu ebikuuramu. Then yatugamba NPA teyina naleri mu ntebe egyo. Then yatugamba aliwo kyayesere D3 nti ekyo kiinako NDPA. Then D5 teyina 4 DPA. Then D4 eyina 4 DPA. Then yatugamba OC1 na OC2 ebyo batabisange. Then yatugamba KP eyina NDPA. Yatugamba M1 eyina M-NDPA. Then yatugamba M2 ebyo batabisange. Then yatugamba M3 teyina baina nali bakisangire mu D5. Then yatugamba 10-1 eyina NDPA. Then yatugamba items ibiri mu 10-1 ziri mu D5.
Thank you. Do you have the DNA report?
I do.
Why don't you just look at page 20? Are you there?
Yes, I'm on page 20.
There's a table there, right?
Yes, there's a table.
You see number 42?
Come again?
Number 42 on the table.
I can see number 10-1.
Number 42 is exhibit labeled 10-1. Yeah? Which is a cutting from a free kitenge dress.
The cutting from the collar area of the multi-colored free kitenge dress covered on top of the bedroom, opposite the master bedroom.
This dress was recovered opposite the master bedroom, right? According to this.
Yes, according to this.
And what's the result of the DNA?
There's low threshold DNA.
On 10-1, the DNA result is low threshold DNA. So, just to be clear, that doesn't have Monica Katanga's DNA on it, right?
Not the DNA expert.
No, low threshold DNA. Does it have female DNA, for example?
Has low threshold DNA.
There was not enough DNA to make a conclusion. Is that what that means? Answer my question.
My lord, we object to that. We object to that. The witness is clear. He's not a DNA expert. And council is forcing him to answer questions well. Mr. Mudiri was here.
The result is that it is low threshold DNA and it has confirmed.
Okay. I want to ask him one more question about that, my lord, and it's this. Does that result say more like Katanga's DNA? What you read there?
I'm not a DNA expert.
What does can you read?
What is here is low threshold DNA.
It says that there is low threshold DNA.
It doesn't say more like Katanga. Okay.
It is low.
Much obliged. I think the point I'm making to you is that you protested the dress that had nobody's DNA on. But let us continue. Let us continue. So now, you will agree with me.
So maybe we have already did where we
I'm asking you questions and you're answering them. Yeah. You're the one answering. So now we can go back to your report. You told us yesterday that you don't know what CS1 and CS2 are, and they are not your control samples.
all these samples we submitted as blind samples.
Yeah. And before this court, there is no evidence of your own gunshot residue test.
Not what you mean
You
exactly.
did not test yourself for gunshot residue.
Brain controls the method.
Did you test yourself for gunshot residue?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Okay. Now, you will agree with me. First of all, that there is, apart from D5, there is no other item here that has more than 3 detected substances.
Apart from
D5.
where I know.
There is no other item that has more than 3 detected substances. 3 or
That's
more.
true.
I want to suggest to you, again about D5. That it is your evidence that in D5 you found a breakdown product of nitrocellulose.
Yes, that's true.
I want to suggest to you that the ammunition in this case had a single base powder. You don't know?
Single base powder. The ammunition in this case.
Yes.
What our results represent that it was the phenol amine detected and a vector product like cellulose detected.
Yes. So it has a single base powder
Single base according to definition was
with nitrocellulose.
nitrocellulose present. Only.
Yes.
That's what your definition. In the other this one the resource
Answer my
What
question.
did you find?
we found nitroglycerin as one of the energetic compounds. And then we found the breakdown product of nitrocellulose, which is nitrogenamine.
In D5.
In just a moment. In your test,
In our
In D5.
in D5, you ask,
we found
Yes.
Marrows, what is the question? Before you even because now I was answering a different question, and now it's a different
they
question.
asked you whether you found in
In D5.
the 5 A.
I asked you if you found nitrophenol amine in D5. You said
D5.
yes. I put it to you that nitrophenol amine, according to you, is a breakdown product.
In D5,
You found
said
a
in
breakdown
D5
product.
In D5, I found a breakdown product of
Of
nitrocellulose.
That's what I said.
That's what you
Yes,
said in
that's what I
D5.
asked.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Then what's the other question?
So in
So then I
D5
said-
is that did you find that the ammunition used was single base
Or double base or triple base.
or
Based
triple
on what?
base?
Did you test the ammunition to discover if it was single base, double base, or triple base?
You
The
tested
gunpowder.
you did
Yes.
the raw gunpowder.
You
I didn't
find
test
whether-
I didn't test the raw gunpowder, my lord, if that's the question.
Okay.
So, okay, my test in D5, I did test
No, that's a different question. He's asking whether it is the damnation.
No, he asked you that in D5, did you detect whether the ammunition was single base, double base, or
My lord,
powder?
let me ask my question.
Maybe no, let him ask his question, man.
Okay. My question is.
But you had asked this question. Are you abandoning it?
No.
What is the question now?
Actually, it's that one.
Which one?
The one my lord has asked.
What have you asked?
No, that's what I had, and that's what I had started with. That in my tests, that whether in your test, the ammunition, the gunpowder was single base, double base, or
You mean in the general testing here?
In D5.
in different.
Cannot equal D5. This is an entire scene, my lord.
No, in D5.
In D5, we find in item D5, we find nitrophenolamine, which is from nitrocellulose, and then we find a derivative of the phenylamine.
Now, I want you to go to the ballistics report.
In your test, the D5 you found
This one is
NDPA and
In D5, we find nitrophenolamine, that is the breakdown product of nitrocellulose, and derivatives of EPA.
and derivatives.
DPA.
Now go to the ballistics report and tell us what D5 was.
Can you avail me the report?
Yes. But you have it. It's among those three. Oh, you don't have
Can
okay,
you avail
ballistics
me the
report.
ballistics report? Kindly.
Is this P31? Okay. Can you tell us from P31 what D5 was?
So under introduction, which is 1A, page number 8, D5, swab from the muzzle to gancho residues,
That's page what?
This is the first page under introduction.
Okay. And so D5 is described as a swab from the muzzle of the gun.
It's written here that swabs from the muzzle to gancho residues.
Yes. So D5 is a swab from the muzzle of the gun.
Muzzles of gunshot.
Of the gun for gunshot residue.
Exhibit 4. That's what is written here.
Okay. Okay, maybe on your documents there you have police form 17.
Which document?
On this one, it starts with P32. Do you have police form 17?
Let me check. So this is the ballistics report that
No, the one with your report.
No, that is out here.
So maybe can you give the witness, my lord? Prosecution, identification number 37. Police form 17A, dated Sandwich. Police form 17A dated. Have you got it? Yeah, dated 3rd November. PID 37. Are you there?
This dated the 3rd of November.
Yes.
Yes.
What's the second page? Last item. Read it.
Last exhibit, which is D-5.
D-5, right?
Yes.
And now read what
Swab
it is.
from the muzzle to gunshot residues. Exhibit 4.
So swab from the muzzle for gunshot residue, exhibit. And just confirm to this court on the previous page what exhibit 4 is.
Because the first one here is the black as a Stava Arms pistol gun, serial number UG 16 CZ99. Compact recovered from the top bed of the master bedroom at a crime scene.
So D5 is a swab from the muzzle of the pistol in issue.
The muzzle, the swab from the muzzle of the gun, which is the pistol, is the item number 48.
And the muzzle is the mouth of the gun. Right?
Not a ballistic expert, but yes.
Okay. Yes, so good. So now let's go back to your. So the closest test we have to what came out of that gun is D5. Because you didn't test the gun, right?
Didn't test the gun?
Yes.
Oh,
For gunpowder. You didn't have the gun,
we didn't have the gun.
and you didn't test the powder in the ammunition.
We didn't test the powder.
So the closest thing you have is a swab of the muzzle, which was actually done by police, right?
Come clear your question.
The closest thing you have is a swab from the muzzle.
That's D5 you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So I want the allegation is that this gun was being used to shoot, right?
That's the allegation, yes.
And that gunpowder has come from this gun and been deposited on other substances, right?
That's what cases you mean.
Surfaces rather, right? At the very least, what is in the gun is what needs to be on those surfaces.
There are very many uncertainties that bring out.
But that's a general.
So it is alleged that this gun was used to shoot and that gunpowder from this gun is,
Pardon?
you asked that it is alleged that this gun was used to shoot.
Yes.
And you say yes, and then you ask a second question. That gunpowder from this gun was supposed to be.
It's supposed to be that it is from this gun. That's the primary source of the gunpowder that is being
What is the primary source?
the gun.
It's the gun, yes.
So a test of the ammunition or the muzzle, what you get there should give you an exact match.
Let's go.
Hmm?
The test of, what's the test of what?
You did hear my question.
Yeah.
Okay, my question is, the gun, yes, is the item that's depositing gunpowder.
Yes. The gunpowder, you mean, so what you're meaning is that the gunpowder comes with the gun?
Yes, from this particular gun.
I did not test the gun. That's you put that to me.
Okay, but what the gunpowder we find in the muzzle is from the gun.
Gunpowder I found in from the gun.
Okay, so you don't. Maybe let me wind up that drum because well, I don't think we'll make much progress. You do not know, and you did not test the gun and the ammunition in this case, right?
No, we didn't.
And you cannot tell if any of the substances in this case has the exact makeup of the ammunition in this case.
Tested the substance that were given to us.
No, my questions. You cannot tell because you didn't test the ammunition. You can't tell if what is on that ammunition, the actual makeup of the ammunition, is what is on these substances.
I don't know where these items came from, whether from the gun, whether from where. I received blind samples.
So you cannot tell if the gunpowder on those substances is the same gunpowder that they put.
Because I received blind samples.
Okay, so you don't know where those things came from.
You already answered.
So the answer is yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. That's it.
So katwairege atebo ya nana ibiri segevegene bazao DNA reports. Then yatwara exhibit tenders 1 ako lukabo lugoye lwebasazire hakitogi kibasangire opposite yekitabu kibabeni bararamu kya A1. Then yatugamba we tali expert wa DNA, so yatugamba tali luwo wenka ya distingire a gunshot residue. Then yatugamba D5 yatugamba apart from D5 busawo ebintu bindi byafunirwe bikuraba mu bisatu kuruga mu gunshot residue. Then yatugamba D5 bikaba ebyazoire kuruga mu omunwa gw'emundu babinaminga exhibit 4. Then yatugamba uwe atatestinge epawuda y'emundu. Yatugamba uwe akaba na omunwa gw'emundu gwe banimingire D5. Then yatugamba emundu niyo primary source ye powder y'emundu. Then yatugamba akimanyire nti powder y'emundu erugira mu mundu. Then yatugamba uwe atatestinge ebyabaire mu mundu yebakolesezi. Then yatugamba takusobola kugamba nti powder ya testingire ekaruga mu mundu yakolesei.
Thank you. So, you only received swabs.
The swabs and pieces of powder.
Okay. Does any swab that you received or fab have an exact match with all the items in D3? In D5? Does any swab that you received have an exact match with all the items in D5?
I mean, if there is any other swab.
Is there any other swab with all the 3 items which are in D5?
Because any other
This. My question was,
yes.
answer. You answered my question. Did you get his answer? I think the chance to think again.
Does any swab received have an exact match with the items in D5?
Does it have all the 3 items in D5?
I mean, counting 3 substances that appear.
The 3 substances, the exact same 3 substances in any other swab. apart from D5? Is there any with 3 swabs, and are those 3 swabs the exact same as we have in D5?
No.
No other questions, my lord.
My lord, we are going to ask for time to prepare for re-examination. My lord, court will note that, and we really are grateful to court's intervention today. Until this morning, my lord,
Allow him to speak. No.
My lord, you want to attack me. Let's take it.
He wants to attack. Where have you seen them?
I know him. I know him. My lord, I know him. I know him very
my
well.
lord, I'm not attacking my good body.
Mr. Morgan, let's take him to his lane. Allow him to make it.
So, my lord, until this morning, the greater part of yesterday, the cross-examination was not allowing any reasonable room for logical recording of answers from the witness.
You see, my lord, he's just give us how much he needs.
So, in order for us to do a thorough re-examination, and my lord, this is a very important exercise. So for us to do a thorough re-examination, my lord, we will need to interface with the transcript of what this witness recorded. Because it is the only source of information that will be sure to get everything that we never got. We have inquired from the IT team, and they have informed us that the record is voluminous, but they can apply this transcript tomorrow.
So if they are doing it tomorrow.
My lord, if they avail it tomorrow before midday, we will be in position to proceed on that. Yes, my lord, secondly, I believe it's not an attack, it's a fair position. My lord, also, secondly, the expert asked us to accord him time to interact with the literature that he was confronted with, and we believe that still within that time, that will be sufficient for him to have read, internalize, and handle the re-examination.
My lord, we have no objection. We should have just asked for a day.
Here you go.